In the summer of 1952, a 13-year-old boy walked into his family's kitchen in rural Pennsylvania and made a choice that would echo through generations. His name was Daniel Blackwood, and what he did that July morning didn't just destroy his family, it created a curse that still haunts his bloodline today. The records were sealed, the witnesses silenced, the truth buried so deep that even the FBI classified the files. But tonight, for the first time in 70 years, someone is finally going to tell you what really happened in that kitchen. What you're about to hear will change how you look at family secrets forever, because some truths are so dark, so twisted, that they're not meant to be spoken. Until now. Hello everyone. Before we start, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel and leave a comment with where you're from and what time you're watching. That way YouTube will keep showing you stories just like this one. The Blackwood family seemed perfect from the outside. Robert Blackwood owned the largest grain mill in Chester County, Pennsylvania. His wife Catherine taught Sunday school at the Methodist Church. Their 4 children, Daniel, Emily, little Michael and baby Grace, were the picture of American prosperity in post-war America. Neighbors would later describe them as the kind of family everyone aspired to be. Clean, respectable, God-fearing. But inside that pristine white farmhouse on Maple Ridge Road, something was rotting. Something that had been festering for generations, passed down through the Blackwood bloodline like a genetic defect. Robert's father had it, his grandfather too. A darkness that manifested not as violence or obvious cruelty, but as something far more insidious. A need to control, to possess, to own every breath, every thought, every dream of those closest to them. Daniel was different from his siblings. While Emily and Michael played outside, he watched. He studied the way his father's jaw would tighten when Catherine spoke too loudly at dinner, how Robert's eyes would narrow when the children laughed too hard. Daniel noticed things a 13-year-old shouldn't notice, the way his mother's hands shook when she set his father's coffee down, the bruises on her wrists that she covered with long sleeves even in summer. But it wasn't just his mother. Robert had a way of breaking people slowly, methodically. A joke that cut too deep, a favor that came with invisible strings, a kindness that always demanded payment. The mill workers whispered about it, though never loud enough for Robert to hear, how men who crossed him would find their credit denied at the bank, their children passed over for jobs, their families slowly strangled by an invisible hand. Daniel absorbed it all, every manipulation, every psychological trap, every subtle form of cruelty. And so, where in that boy's developing mind, a terrible understanding took root. The Blackwood curse wasn't just about power, it was about poison, the kind that seeped into everything it touched. The first sign that Daniel was different came on a cold February morning in 1951. His younger brother Michael had broken one of Robert's prized hunting rifles, an accident that would normally result in a beating so severe the boy wouldn't sit for weeks. But Daniel intervened in a way that chilled everyone who witnessed it. He didn't defend Michael, he didn't take the blame. Instead, 13-year-old Daniel walked calmly to his father and whispered something in his ear, something that made Robert's face go white. The beating never came. Michael was sent to his room, confused and grateful, but Catherine knew. She saw the look in her eldest son's eyes, the same cold calculation she recognized in her husband, but worse, more refined, more patient. What Daniel had whispered was simple. I know about the Miller woman. Dorothy Miller was Robert's secretary at the grain mill, a widow with 2 young children. The affair had been going on for months, hidden from the town, from the church, from everyone except one observant boy who made it his business to know things. That was Daniel's first taste of real power, not the crude dominance his father wielded with fists and threats, but something far more elegant. Information. Secrets. The ability to control people not through fear of immediate pain, but through the terror of exposure, of losing everything they'd built, everything they pretended to be. From that day forward, Daniel began collecting secrets like other boys collected baseball cards. He learned that Mrs. Henderson, the church organist, had been skimming from the collection plate, that Deputy Sheriff Williams was selling confiscated liquor from his basement, that Dr. Morton had been prescribing morphine to himself for years. Each secret was carefully catalogued, stored away for the right moment, the right leverage. But the most important secret Daniel discovered was about his own family, about why Robert's brother had left town so suddenly in 1943, about what had happened to Robert's first wife, the one who'd supposedly died